We don't know. Are we on now? Yeah.
Good evening, welcome to Cardiff City TV.
What a finish, what a goal! Dangerous cross and skate, hit it down. Good save from offside.
Hello and welcome. It is match day here as the Bluebirds host Stoke City this afternoon. All the points matter at this late stage of the season as there is only 4 matches remaining for the Bluebirds. JP is alongside me to help preview today's game. First and foremost, we will do the team news, the starting 11 for the Bluebirds. Only one change since that fantastic last outing, that fantastic 3-1 win. Romain Sawyers is in for Andy Rinamosa. And we've got Ryan Alsop, Marlon Romeo, Mark McGuinness, Ryan Wintle, Joe Rowles as captain, Keona Tete, Callum Adauda, Cedric Kipray, Perry Ng and Sorry Cabba. Of course, he's making the starting 11 after that fantastic goal. Stoke City make 6 changes since the last outing. So a strong team for them. They've got Phil Jagielka, Tyrese Campbell, Dwight Gale, Kiana Herver, Will Smallbone and Ben Pearson all coming in to the starting 11. So a lot of changes for their team. The Bluebirds, one change, not surprisingly, not much change in the starting 11 after that performance.
No, it was a good midweek performance, Ali. I was listening to Ash and James with my glass of wine, and I thought I'd had the whole bottle when we went 3-1 up. But no, the Bluebirds created chances. It was well deserved. Slow start again. That's probably the only criticism, and that's been the theme since coming back out of the international break. But they created a lot of chances in that last half hour of the first half, and in the second half they did what they had to do. They showed character, they showed fight, and they dogged it out. So a very, very valuable 3 points. I assume Sabri Lamucci is thinking he's going to have more of the ball today at home than he would have had on that midweek game against Watford, hence Romain Sawyers back in, because Andy Rinamosa did nothing wrong whatsoever, but Sawyers may be a little bit more creative, a little bit more clinical with the ball at feet, but why change something that's not broken? So yeah, the Bluebirds go with pretty much the same team.
Yeah, and it was a fantastic performance all round, but we do need to specifically talk about Sorry Cabba's goal. That bicycle kick, it was phenomenal. One of the best goals of the season.
Well, at first you don't succeed, keep trying, so I think that was effort number 10 or 11, but he's obviously got it in his locker. It's nice build-up play as well. Romeo and NG floats a lovely cross in. Watford try and come out and play offside, but Cabba's movement and his late-timed run was very good, and the finish is great, but I was really impressed by how he kept himself onside. It's the little things like that, the first touch, back to goal, and then the athleticism to put it in. And he's a player playing with confidence, and strikers need that confidence. Again, I keep saying in commentary, maybe his all-round game isn't always the most finesse, but you can't teach goal scoring. That's something that's just a little bit natural. So if he were available in the summer and maybe perhaps other clubs pass on him because of that all-round game I mentioned, I'd be very happy to see him stay in the Cardiff City ranks because, as I say, you can't teach goal scoring, and he's got that knack.
Yeah, and it was definitely something that the Bluebirds were lacking at the beginning half of the season till he came in. But from those valuable 3 points, the Bluebirds are now up to 19th in the table, so edging away from the relegation zone. At this late stage, every single point matters, but they'll be going in today with a lot of confidence.
They will do, and they needed it because, let's be honest, the last 2 games, Sunderland on the bank holiday Monday was pretty turgid here at home. It wasn't great. I thought the Bluebirds did okay against Sheffield United, particularly in the first half last week, but old frailties came back to haunt them, and in the end that was a heavy defeat that could have sapped confidence. So to win that game at Watford was even more impressive. Yeah, a little bit of breathing space at the moment, but that could very, very quickly change. It's all still tight down there, and we'll all be glued to what Reading and the other teams around us are doing. But the important thing is Cardiff City are in control of their own destiny, and that's what you want. And I've got it in my head 4 points would probably be enough realistically looking at the fixtures. So it would be a big jump towards it today if the Bluebirds could come away with 3 points. Yeah,
because the Bluebirds have a game in hand to all the teams below them in the table, so that also bodes well. But Stoke will be, they've brought their best team today, and they are more of a physical team than Watford.
They are, and they like playing away from home. Maybe a little bit similar to Cardiff City. Maybe they feel under pressure. Maybe they feel the weight of expectation on them at home, and they've got a pretty horrible home record this season. But I think it's undefeated in the last 5 away from home, so they play with confidence away from the, it's not Britannia Stadium, Bet365 Stadium, whatever it is these days. They play with confidence away from home. And Alex Neil, their manager, did chop and change against Wigan, that defeat in midweek. He said that he wasn't happy with their second half performances in the last few games. He felt certain players were getting tired, so he rested them. But he comes back with his best 11 available to him today. It looks like he's tinkered with the shape. Looks like he's going to match up with Cardiff and go 3 centre-halves and wing-backs. They are physical. They've got a very good front two that can mix it with centre-halves, but also run in behind and score goals. So this is a difficult game today, and it could go one of 2 ways, Ali. The pressure's off Stoke.
They've got nothing to play for.
So you're hoping they're on the beach already, and Cardiff's desire level will be higher. But also sometimes a team, when they're playing without pressure, they can really play to form. So it's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah, because it could play into the hands of the Bluebirds, the fact that they are playing for every single point, every draw or win matters. So today, they are coming in as the favourites. I've had a look at the odds, and the Bluebirds are actually the favourites.
I've got no money to spend, but I might have a look now when now you've told me that. I think it's down to Cardiff getting a good start, and it's such a cliche, but first goal. We've been conceding the first goal far too frequently, particularly in the first sort of 20 minutes, and that just sets us behind. That kills any momentum, and it drains confidence. So Cardiff need to give themselves a platform today. They've got the confidence from that midweek win. Dictate the play, be brave in the first 20 minutes, and score first. And if you score first, this place will feel a lot nicer to play in. The fans will get behind you. The Canton stand will be in full voice. There we go. Shay Ojo just joining the show. Thank you, Shay. If that happens, this place will feel a whole lot better. So that first goal, a good first 20 minutes, a strong start, which has been missing since the international break. I think that's key for Cardiff City today.
Yeah, and they've got to keep that momentum from that great win midweek, which is very important.
Yeah, confidence is a valuable thing, but it's a fragile thing. As I said, Sunderland, Blackpool on Good Friday, excellent. The Monday against Sunderland, I think we all went home disappointed. The Cardiff City players, Sabri Lamucci, that was the angriest I've seen him since coming in as Cardiff City manager. There were spells against Sheffield United when the Bluebirds looked good. I thought they deserved a lead at half-time. They didn't get it, and then the confidence started to go, and they lost 4-1. Wednesday, they've got that confidence back again. It could quickly change. That's why that first 20 minutes, all so important for me, Ali.
Always crucial. Well, Sabri Lamucci gave us his preview on the upcoming game this afternoon.
So I hope there will be many and many in the stadium tomorrow to support us again, because we need them, like always, but more now. Probably we send a message for our opponent as well. Cardiff is still there, still in life, and the desire to play in Championship next season is absolutely in our mind, and we want to do everything we can to show them we deserve to be where we are in Championship. I remember a team and club in a trouble in the beginning of the season. Changed the manager, Alex, after perfect job in Sutherland, is doing a perfect job in Stoke as well. They have a very good squad. I love the 3 midfielder, one example, Pearson, Small Ball, and Laura. They have a good striker as well. Experienced defender, a very good team. I like the play the way they play. They lost last game against Wigan at home. Probably they are safe. Probably they are waiting the end of the season, but probably they will not give us anything. So they will come and they will try to disturb us. They will try to play. You know, when your goal is to save the club. It will be probably the same for us, but unfortunately we need to fight until the end. But Stoke, before Alex came, was in trouble. And they achieved the goal. All players in the league, they are exhausted because tomorrow it's a 6 game in 3 weeks. End of season is absolutely tough for all clubs with suspension, injury, players tired, a lot of problem for manager, squad players. What can we do? Just to try to take the right decision and be positive.
Welcome back to Pitchside. Ash has joined me and we are going to look a little bit closer at the Stoke team now. As I mentioned at the top of the show, 6 changes since the last outing, not surprisingly because they rested a few players midweek and they're bringing their strongest available team at this stage.
Yeah, they've been chopping and changing quite a bit and late, trying to get some consistency because, I heard you talking to John and they're not, they are not in good form whatsoever. Just 1 win in their last 5, incidentally, and I heard John touch on this, it's like they have only lost 1 in 5 away from home, so their away form far better, and I think that happens to certain teams at the wrong end of the table at this time of the year. I mean, it's happened to us at times where the pressure just gets piled on a little bit, fans get restless, they've seen enough in many regards, and they start to get on the players' back, and I think it has that adverse effect. So they are bringing a better away form here than they have been at home, and like you said, they're trying to find something that works. They've got enough points in the bag that they know they're safe, and they're trying to find something that works as a blueprint to carry into next season, because this hasn't just been a 1-season blip for them now. This is 2-3 years in a row where they haven't really been able to get some momentums, and they're getting through managers trying to find that as well.
Yeah, and they are 17th in the table, but safely there, so they haven't really got anything to play for now. Obviously the Bluebirds are fighting for every point, but that could have an effect today. But they're physical, they're more of a physical team than Watford, and they're definitely wanting to start getting the results.
Yeah, they are. I think you'd put Stoke firmly in the camp that Cardiff, that the outsiders look at Cardiff at this season as well. They've got a much better squad than their league position suggests. And I said this has been the case for Stoke for a couple of seasons, if not longer now. You don't think it's not that long ago that you were looking at them going, that's a squad of Premier League footballers that have been relegated from the Premier League. Why can't they get it right? So something's been amiss for years. They're a well-backed club, they're a wealthy club, but something's not quite worked out there. They had a really good March, and it seemed to really put them on the right track. Alex Neil seemed to have found a groove, and it looked like they were starting to build something towards next season. And now that form's dropped off again. And like I said, they've got good players. They've got good units as well. You look at that. They're patched together at the back. They're missing some players. Ben Wilmot suffered that back fracture 2 games ago, so he's missing. So you've got 40-year-old Phil Jagielka coming back into the team, alongside the youngster Connor Taylor. They've got a left back playing in the back 3 as well, who's actually been playing in a pairing at times in recent weeks. But they've got good athleticism in the wing-back positions this afternoon. They've got their 2 first choices back in that regard. And the midfield 3, they've got options beyond these 3, but their midfield 3 looks really strong. Pearson back from a ban. He's such a good holding player at this level. He walks a disciplinary tightrope. He picks up yellow cards for fun, but he's a very, very accomplished performer in that role at this level. Players alongside him, Josh Laurent, who used to play alongside Andy Rinomhota at Reading, is a really wily operator. And Will Smallbourne's been absolutely fantastic, not just for them, but for the Republic of Ireland this year as well. Finally got an international call-up, and it's been sensational. He's a 23-year-old, so not young by any means, but on loan from Southampton and getting his first real taste of Championship football. We don't know what's going to go on with Southampton. It'll be interesting to see where he's playing his trade next year.
Yeah, and their formation today, they seem to be matching the Bluebirds. What does that tell you in terms of their tactics for today's match?
I think it tells you that Alex Neil doesn't trust a pairing at centre-back, which you can probably say the same of Sabri Lamouchi. Maybe not trust for Sabri, but he certainly hasn't made his mind up on what would be the best pairing. So you go with a 3, because from Cardiff's point of view, I think that brings the best out of both Perry and Cedric. And I think it's safety in numbers for a Stoke point of view in terms of a back 3. And like I said, you can push those athletes at wing backs further up the pitch. Then it then I think further up the pitch, it's the same then. It allows you to play a three in the middle, which suits the players on offer for both sides. Certainly suits Joe Rawls in the Cardiff setup. It seems to suit Pearson, Laurent and Smallbone having that extra man in there as a pairing. And in both senses at the moment, it suits you being able to play a striking pairing. For Cardiff, because we've been looking at ways of getting extra bodies up the pitch, and we don't really have the bodies in the wide areas, although Jaden Philogene back involved today. In Stoke's point of view, it's because they've lost arguably their best player in Jacob Brown in the week, so they don't have that automatic starter in the wide forward area to play opposite Tyrese Campbell. So he's gone, you know what, rather than crowbar in a youngster or somebody like Selina who hasn't had a great deal of playing time of late, let's just play a strike pairing.
Well, as I said at the top of the show, only 4 matches remaining for the Bluebirds. The next one is that replay against Rotherham, and they'll be wanting to go into that with confidence based on how the first half was going last time out.
I mean,
how disappointing.
This division, you know, there's like a Kafkaesque jails prison scenario with this division at times. It's been, you know, we've played a lot of games in this division in the last, how long have I worked here? 16 years now, you know, and this season's been pretty difficult, isn't it? You know, from a fan, from an employee, from a player, from a point of view, it's been difficult. So it gives you an opportunity this afternoon to really go and make yourself all but safe.
Yeah.
In an ideal world, it puts you 5 points clear, and then you've got 6 points to play for, or the other teams have got 6 points to play for. We know the championship's not that easy. Look, me and James Fox on commentary on Wednesday night were, you know, beyond overjoyed with what we were witnessing on the pitch at 3-1 up. And then you look at the league table and you're like, what's going on? And then you see the Queen's Park Rangers are winning and Reading are winning, and you're like, oh, this is all not all for naught, but you know, you're finally going to get a really unexpected away win, and it's not going to eat into the other teams that you think it's going to. So, like, I'm under no illusions that this is going to be finished here this afternoon. I still think, regardless of the confidence, that it could go, if not to the wire, then certainly the Rotherham game's going to be important on Thursday, and probably Huddersfield here at home next Sunday. But my word, you know, I'm crossing everything that we can do our part of the bargain here this afternoon, and finally something sorts itself out to this foot of this division, because the relegation scrap and the playoff place in this division are just, for an outsider, must be as exciting as ever to be involved in it. Is hideous. Yeah, well, fingers crossed, pick up maximum points today. Just a reminder, if you're watching overseas, you can watch live on Cardiff City TV, and you can listen live if you're in the UK with your match pass. Now, we caught up with Joe Rawls, our captain for today, and he previewed today's game.
Start with Watford on Wednesday night. Professional performance and 3 really important points.
Yeah, really good performance, really good result. Obviously not the best start to the game, but great character to come back into it. Scored 3 really good goals and then showed brilliant character and togetherness in the second half to shut it out and get the 3 points.
Sorry, Cabba, he's tried that overhead kick. We don't know how many times. What was that like when he finally put one in there?
Yeah, about time it's paid off, to be fair, isn't it? But no, it was a great goal, brilliant finish. His all-round play's been brilliant. Him and Keon were a brilliant focal point for us all game, and they both got their goals that they deserve. And goals change games, and it was massive for us to score at key moments and took the game away from them, really. So yeah, buzzing for both of the boys.
And for you personally, away at Blackpool and away at Watford, 2 individual really impressive performances. You look like you're enjoying yourself out there at the moment. Yeah,
I think the break's done me good. I've come back, I feel good physically. I'm enjoying playing. I'm enjoying trying to win games for this team, doing all I can, and yeah, obviously brilliant win for us on Wednesday. Yeah, great feeling after the game, you know, with the fans that travelled and all the boys together. We knew how important the game was and how important every game is now till the end of the season. So to start off this little period that we've got 5 games with a win, it's brilliant. We couldn't ask for more.
A few good wins away from home. It's just fine margins trying to get that home form right as well now for the last 2 home games of the season.
Yeah, got a massive game against Stoke on Saturday. Really disappointed with the performance against Sunderland. It was a bit of a shock for all of us, really, after the great win at Blackpool to come here and have a performance like that. So we're aware that we don't want to make the same mistakes again, and that we want to make sure that we come here and give a massive good account of ourselves. Same attitude that we showed at Watford, and hopefully we can get the same result.
Stoke coming here then, not a lot to play for the rest of their season. What are you expecting from them on Saturday?
Dangerous team in that respect because, like I say, they've maybe not got anything to play for. They can play with freedom. That can sometimes be dangerous, but we've got to manage that. We've got our fans behind us, which will be a massive help, and we've got to show more than what we showed against Sunderland last time out here. So we're expecting to do that. We'll have a good couple of days training, recovering, and make sure that we're ready physically for the game, and then just come out here on Saturday and try and get the job done. And it's a great opportunity for us in front of our fans to go and pick up more points, and that's what we're looking to do.
And those fans travelled to Sheffield, travelled to Watford. You're going to need them here now on Saturday to bring that noise and try and lift the players on the pitch, aren't you?
Yeah, 100%. We're going to need them. I mean, the atmosphere, the manager's mentioned it to me personally. The atmosphere's been brilliant here in the home games, and we've maybe not given them enough reward for that. But like I say, we need them here again on Saturday. Massive game and a massive point in the season for us. And we need to do our job on the pitch and make sure that they're with us, behind us, and they can see that we're fighting and showing the passion and the responsibility of playing for this football club on the pitch, and we'll be looking to do that.
Joe, best of luck.
Cheers, thank you.
Top 5 in association with the Big Yellow Self-Storage Company.
Did well. Cuts away with it, does really well. Harris, lovely little touch into a Tet. Van Hees plays it nicely around the corner for Sawyers. Harris asking to grip quickly. Sawyers, Romeo, a Tet. Robinson! 2-2. Well worth goal for the Bluebirds that. A Tet in the first instance looked as if the opportunity had passed him by, but it fell kindly for Robinson. He tucks home, City a level.
Well, I'll talk about an instant impact. Mark Harris, Keola Tet involved in fast-flowing football for Cardiff City. Back on level terms and forward to the corner. Comes out to Acuna. First time back to Rose. Steadies himself, crosses left-footed. Decent looking ball. Chance here. 1-1 Robert Glatzel. His second of the season. And the substitute has broken Stoke open.
It's a really fine finish from Robert Glatzel. Deep ball in, defender gambles, comes up empty-handed, and it's a really composed touch and finish from Robert Glatzel.
Fail. Chipped up. Johnson. Chance! Goal! Michael Chopra! Maybe too little too late. Cardiff City are at least back on terms.
Right position. Serves the ball in field. Boland does well to win it, get it back, and then play it forward to Cooper near side. Cooper cutting in field. He's going to try a shot. It's a great goal! Great goal! Kevin Cooper!
What a super strike.
Cardiff City against Stoke.
Yeah.
What a strike with his left foot.
Against a run of play, it has to be said, but what a way to answer.
So far, Gary, very, very good indeed. Both sides are entertaining. Excellent game. Robinson heading the ball forward. Earnshaw well outside the area. Tries the shot. What a goal! Robert Earnshaw! 1-0 Cardiff City against Stoke. Absolutely unbelievable finish from Robert Earnshaw there. The goal just came out of absolutely nothing. Just a punt ball forward. He was going towards the corner flag, and as the ball got over his shoulder, just hooked his first time over the goalkeeper's head into the back.
Good evening, welcome to Cardiff City TV.
Mark Harris. Harris! 2-0!
What a finish, what a goal!
Davies crossing the skate, they're headed down. Good save from Olsen.
Good afternoon, welcome to Cardiff City TV. Welcome to the Cardiff City Stadium for the penultimate home game of this 22-23 championship season, and after the Bluebirds' exploits in midweek, an opportunity for the Bluebirds, if results were to go their way elsewhere, also to put themselves all but safe. But we've been in this division long enough, we've seen enough change in the course of the last few weeks to know that it's not going to be plain sailing by any means. At one point on Wednesday night, Cardiff were beating Watford by 3-1, and yet it wasn't having much of a difference on the league table because of results elsewhere involving Reading and Queen's Park Rangers. So strap yourselves in for another 90 minutes of Cardiff City. One thing is for sure, it will not be boring. Stoke City, the visitors here this afternoon, a team who Cardiff have a very, very good recent record against. Just one loss in their last 9 meetings. We're unbeaten in 5 and unbeaten in 5 at home as well. The away reverse fixture ended in a 2-2 draw back in December. Ryan Wintle and Callum Robinson on the score sheet that afternoon. Last year's fixture here resulted in a 2-1 City victory. Tommy Doyle and Jordan Hugill on the score sheet. Either of those will do quite nicely again this afternoon as the two teams emerge here at a raucous Cardiff City Stadium, led out by captains for Stoke City, Phil Jagielka, and for the Bluebirds, Joe Rolls. It's not been plain sailing for either of these teams this season. It's not been plain sailing for either of these two teams at the championship level for a couple of years now. Both have struggled with the weight of expectation. Both, relatively recently, have been Premier League football teams. For Cardiff, in terms of team news, it is just one change from that side that won at Vicarage Road on Wednesday night. The changes in the midfield area. Roaming Sawyers comes into that particular 3-man setup, replacing Andy Renamotta, who drops to the bench. So McGuinness, Keeper A and G, the unit at the back. Sawyers, Wintle and Rolls, the unit midfield. And Cabot and Atete, both goal scorers on the evening last time out, both start again here this afternoon. There's also better news on the bench, where Jayden Philogene is fit again to take part in the matchday squad, having sat out that 3-pointer. For Stoke City, 6 changes from the side, who lost to Wigan Athletic at home in midweek. However, it does look a stronger team as a result. The one big loss for them, Jacob Brown, arguably their most dangerous player. He misses out, so they revert to a front 2, Dwight Gale and Tyrese Campbell, the 2 men there. It looks like they're matching Cardiff up in terms of formation. 3 at the back. Connor Taylor comes into that area, so does the aforementioned captain, 40-year-old Phil Jagielka. There's athleticism in the wide areas at wing-back though, by Keanu Hoover and Josh Tyman are 2 very, very good operators at this level. And the midfield 3 have been excellent for months. Ben Pearson on loan from Bournemouth, as experienced as it gets in the